Let's look at the Democrats. And of course, the new face or new star of the Democratic Party is anti-Israel socialist New York City mayoral frontrunner Zohran Mamdani. Now, he's admitted that he might need another plan to fund his $10 billion freebie-filled agenda if he can't actually hike taxes on the ultra-wealthy. Now, he's made it no secret that during his campaign from the early days that he's hoping to drum up $10 billion for his freebie-filled agenda, in part by taxing the wealthy. He pitched a 2% tax hike on New York City's millionaires and a 4.5% increase on corporations. But Brittney, I want to get your thoughts on what New York City is really in for, because we know Mamdani wants rent freezes, he wants government-run grocery stores, he wants free buses. We've heard him in the past say he doesn't believe that billionaires, they should just not exist. Of course, he's anti-Israel. He's previously called to defund the police. So I'm suspecting that a lot of New Yorkers will be rushing to join you in Florida, Brittney.
Right. We suspect that as well. But here's what we're forgetting. So he's a socialist. He's a known socialist. He has said it out there that he is a socialist. So this is the socialist ideologies. This is what they are all about. And I've said this time and time again, the far left liberals have hijacked the Democrat Party here in America, and their social experiment is failing. It is failing. We saw this in California. We're going to see it in New York if he gets elected. And you're going to be surprised about what I'm going to say right now, but there is a part of me that wants him to get elected only because, and one, because I don't live in New York City, but two, hopefully our country can see what will happen if an actual socialist is running the country. So he could potentially be running the largest city in this country. And I mean, there's not going to be any law and order. We are going to see so much fail that maybe the American people need to really see this happen so that we don't elect a socialist in for presidency one day, because we're headed in that direction, because the far left has absolutely hijacked the Democrat Party, in my opinion.
It certainly has. And the Democrat Party is on life support in California. Of course, Gavin Newsom's California. It's interesting looking at the figures over the last 8 months. Republicans have registered tens of thousands of new voters. Democrats have registered around 100. Look at this.
Year, there's been some changes in voter registration and with which party voters want to identify. Since February 10th, 82,000 people chose no party preference when registering to vote. There was also a jump for the Republican Party, with it gaining 48,000 voters, but Democrats only gaining 190 voters in 200 plus days.
Brittney, is it Gavin Newsom that's also turning people away?
So I'm not surprised by this at all. I'm a born and raised Californian for 40 plus years. We just moved to Florida 2 years ago because of the far left ideologies that took over California. I'm not surprised by this at all. If you live in California, if you were born and raised in California, the old California is not what it used to be. And we have firsthand the changes. It's unlivable at this point in so many ways. So I am not surprised by this whatsoever. And I don't entirely blame Gavin Newsom. It's a collective of people there that are running the show there that have just destroyed the state and so many blue cities in that state. But people are waking up because there's a lot of money in California. And look at how many multi-billionaire, billion-dollar companies have moved away from the state. So people are starting to wake up. Taxes, I mean, we paid $50,000 a year in property taxes alone to live in the Palisades, and then it goes up in flames. So I mean, there's just so many. You're living in one of the wealthiest areas in California, and you're having to step over a homeless person. Oh, excuse me, we're not supposed to say an unhoused person. So I mean, it's there's just it's people are running amok there, and I think people are starting to really wake up.
100%. Now, finally, before I let you go, we've spoken about trust in the media, and it's now at a record low in the United States. And this is just one example of why that might be happening. This is how MSNBC's Nicole Wallace reports on Gavin Newsom's social media strategy. Take a look at this.
The whole notion that the right is an absolute puddle of snowflakes has been exposed by Gavin Newsom.
And this is how she reports on Donald Trump's social media.
Childish, it is crass, it is vulgar, it's of course unpresidential, it's dumb. Leader Jeffries is pictured wearing a sombrero and a fake mustache, while Schumer goes about making a fake speech he never actually said or delivered.
Brittney, I mean, how can anyone take outlets like MSNBC seriously?
I don't think they are. And I think that the proof is in the ratings. I don't think that they are. I mean, there was just a recent poll, 28% of Americans trust the media right now.
Isn't that so low, 28%? I'd also like to know who the 28% are.
Same. It's probably the far left liberals watching this.
Correct.
About the hypocrisy here. I mean, and this is why I think so many Americans are not trusting the media anymore. Also, journalists are no longer being journalists. They have become activists.
Yeah.
You know that I was on CBS News in Los Angeles for over 15 years, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. I know firsthand that my scripts had to be changed, or I had to withhold information, especially during the BLM riots and the COVID-19 pandemic. So we know that there's going to be a mistrust, because eventually, now that everyone has their cell phones and everyone's basically a journalist now, other information is going to start coming up and out. But this hypocrisy, what you just showed, the clip that you just showed, the hypocrisy of how she's congratulating Newsom, but then yet when Trump does it, he's a dictator, he's this, he's that. So people are starting to wake up. I really do believe that the proof is in the ratings. And, you know, you have these shows like The View, you have the late night talk show hosts, Jimmy Fallon and Kimmel, and they're getting 130,000 views or people watching a night. I mean, across the board, the ratings are going down, except for conservative news outlets. Now, those ratings are starting to go up.
They are going up indeed. Brittney Hopper, independent journalist, thank you so much for joining us. It was wonderful to speak to you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.